We were just having an off-the-air conversation while the music's playing. Dear gosh. Dear gosh.
Dear gosh.
Yeah. How have you been?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm your host, Andres. My wife, Kelly, my co-host.
Yeah.
This is Listen to the Words.
Mm-hmm.
We usually do podcasts about brackets and stuff and anything but music. But I think we'll do a music episode this time.
Yeah, why not?
It's warm in here, isn't it?
Spice it up. Oh, okay.
You okay? Okay.
Well,
cool.
you have a sweatshirt on.
Yeah, I just realized that.
Maybe you should take that off. And you have sweatpants on.
I get cold.
Well,
I get really cold.
If you're hot, then I would suggest taking it
you're
off.
hot and you're cold. You're yes and you're no.
Be like Nelly. It's getting hot in her.
You know what it is. Hold on. It's going to be awkward now.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, my shoulder popped. And I just hit the microphone, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Of course I
It
did.
wasn't too bad, though.
All right. All right, there we go.
There. Feel better?
Much better. Tell them what I'm wearing.
Those Adidas sweatshirts, they make you hot.
They do their job.
They do. They do their job a little too well.
I mean, it is 35. It's 32 degrees outside. No, it's 35 because the carp kept saying it's cold, and I'm like, no crap.
Yeah.
But it's 35 degrees. It's raining, and I didn't feel cold at all while I was out and about.
No.
I went on an odyssey today.
I know you did.
So my
kind of glad I didn't go because I was tired just hearing of all the places.
I worked a little bit this morning. I worked 5 hours this morning. Then I went to the gym, did a workout, then came home, showered. Gym, work, gym, barber. I got a haircut. Talked to my barber for a bit. I showed him my port. He got skeeved out. I told him, touch it. He's like, so he touched it. He goes, oh my God, no. He freaked out. Came home, went to Bin Time, which is a little Amazon return store, got some stuff at the one here. And then I was like, you know what? I want to go to the one in Greenville, which is about half an hour away. And I'm glad I did because I found some good stuff.
Yeah.
And then you text me, you want me to go get you some stuff at the supermarket.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that. Oh, and I went to Target too.
Mm-hmm.
Went to Target too. What in the world? I went to Target.
Mm-hmm.
I got my fiber gummies because Drizzy's going on a trip in a week and a half.
Yep.
And my tum-tums needs help going poopies.
TMI.
Yeah. That was one of the lingering effects of chemo was
constipation.
My tum-tum doesn't evacuate often. But the Target gummies work really, really good.
Yeah.
So I did all that
Mm-hmm.
and I just got home about 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And then I told you, I was like, we need to record because this is posting while I'm on my business trip.
Yeah.
The day, the start of my business trip
Yeah.
will be when this posts.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to this, I'm going to be in Music City
Yeah.
by the Grand Ole Opry.
But not having fun.
I enjoy my job.
No, I know, but I mean, like, you're not visiting Nashville. You're going there for work.
After work, we are going to grab some dinner and stuff like that.
Well,
So and the people.
It's not like you're not there as a tourist.
I'm not there on
thing.
vacation.
Yeah,
I'm there on a part-time vacation, a part-time tourist from 5 to 7 when I go to bed at 8 or 9.
Yeah,
And plus, I'm hanging out with another coworker whose wife and kids couldn't come with him. So I'm like, let's just be losers together. I was like, I'll pick you up at the airport. We'll just hang out together. He seemed interested in it, so I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
He doesn't drink either, so
yeah.
I stopped drinking after the cancers got me.
Yeah.
But
you kind of had to. Well, you've had a beer or two since.
But beer is not as heavy. I cut out hard liquor completely.
Yeah, liquor.
Like beer is different in my opinion.
Right. Yeah, it is.
But I did cut. I mean, I still have a bottle of whiskey that your dad bought. I'm never gonna drink that bottle. That bottle's gonna stay there forever. But and I actually have some other liquors too.
You have a beer in the fridge, I think, unless you drank it already.
No, it's still there.
It's still there.
It's still there.
That we bought like months ago.
We bought that like a week after my chemo finished because I was like, I really want a beer, and
you still haven't drank it.
It's still there. My body,
I guess you didn't really want a beer that bad.
my body doesn't crave it anymore. It's like,
Yeah.
I'd rather have a cold glass of water or my flavored waters from Costco.
Yeah.
It's like, a beer. Where's the fun in that?
Yeah.
Now, a beer, my Xanax.
No.
Then maybe.
No.
Maybe I'll enjoy that ride a little bit better.
No.
But yeah, so this will be posting, and I'll be hopefully in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So
You should be.
I hope
You
to
better be.
Okay, hopefully. My computer is showing that it's charging, but it's not charging because it's connected to the Roadcaster.
Oh.
But it's showing that it's charging.
It's probably, is it plugged into where the charger goes?
This is plugged in. Yeah. Well, there's only 2 ports on the.
So that's why.
But it was weird. It's never done that before.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll be in Tennessee. Oh, we got something cool yesterday.
We did get something cool yesterday.
We got something really cool, courtesy of my job.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had to build a shed in the backyard.
Yeah.
That's going to be my home office.
Yes.
Because we're fancy like that now. What is that? We're bougie like that now.
We're bougie.
We're bougie. I get a home office that's a shed.
Yeah.
The only thing missing is a bathroom. But I'm just gonna take a bucket in there. A pee-pee bucket.
Oh God.
But we got a shed because your mama's gonna be joining us on a more permanent basis.
Yeah, a little bit. She's gonna be here a little bit longer than she usually is.
Her rotation's gonna lead more this way than down in Florida.
Yeah.
So we were thinking about expanding and building onto the house, but that's just it's gonna cost the same as it cost us to build this house.
Just
entirely.
about, yeah.
I mean, it literally wasn't it? Don't say any figures, but
no,
it was shy of it though.
It was
within like $20,000.
Yeah,
and
it was pretty much
insane to me.
Yeah. Well, and I think because it's such a small project, all the suppliers or all the people
that makes sense.
That wanted that he was going to get to do that for us, because it's a small project, they're not going to get paid very much.
Yeah.
So they up their prices to cover their costs or whatever. So it wasn't going to be feasible.
It wasn't feasible. So we decided
for us to do that.
I told your mother that she can have my home office.
Yeah.
And I'd move out.
Yeah.
And so we are
not out of the house, but
I'm moving my home office into the shed.
Yeah.
And then that way
you still need that since you're still hybrid.
I'm still hybrid for the time being. And I mean, I don't foresee it changing, but you never know.
Yeah, you never know.
I do have to go into the office. So once she's here, I'm going to have to go pop into the office a little more frequently.
Yeah.
Just because of my new role. Yeah. And we're getting a new hire. Yeah. So I need to go in back and forth and train her, and it's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
But at least I like my job.
Yeah.
At least I'm good at it.
And at least you're close by.
Yeah.
So it's not like you have to drive 30 minutes to go into the office and then
literally on Friday, was it yesterday? No, Thursday. You texted me and said, "Hey, the Sophia's bathroom is over. It's backed up. It's overflowing."
Yeah.
It happened to us a little while ago.
It's about to overflow.
It's about to overflow. So I literally ran home.
Yeah.
I actually ran to the hardware store, which is down the street. Ran there, got the plunger and a toilet auger.
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
A snake.
Came home, cleared it all up, made it back to the office in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I did all that in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Because my coworker's like, "Wait, you just left?" And I was like, "Yeah, I did everything already. We're good." She's like, "Wait, literally, you just left." And I was like, "Hey, that's the way it is."
I'm right there. And plus, the Ace Hardware is right by the house, too.
We can walk there.
Yeah, so it's everything that we needed was close by.
I can walk to work, and I can walk to the Ace Hardware.
Yeah.
I'm still going to buy my scooter one day. And just scoot around town.
Yeah, so we got the shed.
It's almost done.
It's almost done. There's 3 little windows on the front that need to be put in.
The guy was so mad yesterday.
They usually have them because it's all put together on site.
Yeah,
and it's already painted and everything.
They painted it again yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that he was doing like touch-ups or whatever.
He painted the whole blue thing, and then he painted the white. After they nailed this up, they painted again.
I thought they painted at the warehouse or whatever.
And then it got a second coat.
Oh, okay.
Yep, he painted. He came painted, and then he painted again.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Cool.
So he was angry because he's like, when in the door assembly are the 3 windows, and he's like, I open it and it's not there.
Yeah, it's just the door.
To begin with, they gave him the wrong door too.
Maybe that's why.
Probably
the windows weren't there.
Yeah, so they gave him the wrong door.
They gave him the wrong door, but it worked out better.
They gave him the upgraded version of the door.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Hey, no charge." He's like, I can take it back and bring you the right door, or you keep this upgrade door. And I was like, keep the upgrade door.
Yeah, of course. It is nice.
So
it is.
So now the next step is get an electrician, get that set up, and then we'll finish it off. And then I'll be moving in there hopefully before May,
which is when my mom is supposed to come back for the rest of the year.
Yep.
She is coming in when you're gone.
We'll be picking her up this time next week.
Yeah, next Saturday we're picking her up. So she's going to be with me and Sophia for the week. And
since I couldn't bring you guys with me, I bring your mama to you.
I know. So we're going to hang out, and I took the week off of work, and we're going to hang out and go to the mall and everything. So
of course,
do whatever.
You're going to go to the mall without me.
Yeah.
You're going to completely burn your paycheck that week, aren't
you?
No,
I'm not.
Yeah, you are. You're like, Mama, I got money. I got money now.
I can buy whatever I want. No, I'm kidding. I'm going to go buy me that lounge fly I wanted.
You work. It's your paycheck. We just got to make it work somehow.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
Did we talk about your car issues this week?
No. I don't think so.
It just happened.
Yeah, because it just happened.
Should we talk about it?
So
we can talk about it. Why
not? So last week I was driving to work, and this is like, it's still dark outside when I go into work.
You leave here like at 6 a.m.
6:15.
Yeah.
Because I have to catch a bus to get into the airport. So, because the employee parking lot, it's close, but not. It's a bit of a walk.
The layout of that airport, I mean, all airports are the same. There's everything's close distance-wise, but you have to take a bus to get anywhere.
Right. So, and plus it was rainy. This was on last Tuesday.
It's been raining all week.
This past
honestly.
Tuesday. Yeah. I'm driving, and all of a sudden my car starts to like kind of stutter, like hiccup almost. Mm-hmm. And what I've later found out it's actually called misfiring. Mm-hmm. So it was doing that, and I thought, oh my gosh, like I'm not gonna make it work. Mm-hmm. Like it wasn't really raining at that point, like not hard, but it was starting to.
Yeah.
And it was dark. And so anyway, so I get to the light where I need to turn to get to the parking lot. Like I'm about 2 minutes from the parking lot. And I'm at this light, and my car starts just shaking, like very loud and violently, like I'm shaking with it. And so I barely make it to the parking lot. And so I call you and I tell you what's going on. And I was like, I don't feel safe driving this, home. I don't think I'll make it home. I said, so I may need you to pick me up. And we just call a tow because we didn't know at that point what was going on.
No, we didn't.
And, so I get the bus and I get into the office, and, I told my manager what was going on. And I said, I got to try to find a mechanic, and I got to, I may have to get a tow truck and all that stuff. And so anyway, so we found...
So while you're doing all that, I'm actually talking to my coworker, Leah, which is a really good friend of mine. And I was like, hey, she had mentioned that her boyfriend is a mechanic. And I was like, hey, is Marcus by any chance available? And she goes, yeah, he's right here.
Yeah.
So I was like, does he have a tow truck? And she's like, well, he has one, but it's being repaired. So she's like, the guy that he rents his shop from has one. We could probably get him out there. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, cool. So I get his phone number, and I give you the phone number because I'm like, hey, it's better that you explain to him what's going on.
Yeah.
And you called him, and he's like, hey, I could fix that there.
Yeah. He's like, well, let me ask you this. He said, because I told him what was going on. And one thing that was happening was that my check engine light started flashing on me. And usually it's just solid.
Yeah. I mean, that car, since we've had it, has the check engine lights on.
Yeah. But then it started flashing, and then my battery light came on at one point. And I was like...
And we just swapped the battery out.
Yeah, I was like, we just replaced this battery. I said, there is no way. And I've been driving it more regularly because I'm working now. I said, there's no way that this battery's kaput.
It's a brand spanking new battery.
Yeah. And so anyway, so I let him know what was going on. And before I could tell him about my check engine light, he said, well, let me ask you. He's like, was it flashing? I said, yeah. And he's like, what it sounds like it is it's your cylinders. And he said, so he ends up coming. I figure out a time for him to come. I wanted him to come when there's going to be like a break in the rain.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't get soaked. But that didn't happen. It ended up pouring down rain when he came. So anyways, he came and picked me up around 11. And because it was pouring down rain, we just felt safer if he followed me home.
Well, he fixed it.
Yeah, he fixed
the car.
He fixed the car, and my car, the cylinders aren't individual. It's a pack. It almost looks like a 3-hole punch. So anyway, so he showed it to me, and he installed it, and he had to put in new spark plugs and everything. But these things had been burnt. Like I was running on 2 cylinders, and my car is a 4-cylinder car.
Yeah.
So I was running on 2 cylinders. He's like, there's no way you would have made it home.
Yeah.
So he's super nice guy. He really knows what he's talking about. He knows his stuff. He does. He can tell you about pretty much any car.
Yeah.
Any car I asked him about, he was like, yeah, that's good, or no, that's not.
Because I was determined to buy a car this weekend.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, we're going to burn that car to the ground. I said, we're buying a car. And he told you, no, don't get rid of the car. He's like, the car's good.
Yeah.
Don't get rid of the car.
Yeah. The car is not worth anything because I have a Saturn, and they don't make Saturns
anymore. It's a 2006. Yeah,
2006.
So the car is almost 20 years old.
And it's not worth anything monetarily.
Yeah.
It's worth something to me because it's my first. It was my first brand new car that I bought with my money that I earned, and
that I inherited payments once we got married.
Yeah, but they weren't that bad, and the car's paid off.
Yeah. So
it's like I really didn't want to get as much as I would love to have a new car.
Yo, straight up, we were gonna go to the Ford dealership and get a 2025 Ford Escape.
So
I had it all lined up. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go. I told the guys I'm gonna be there on Saturday. And then I was like, he mentioned that Ford, maybe not. Then I looked up Toyotas, and I was like, I'll be there on Saturday.
Yeah.
They're a little more pricier than the Fords, but I was like,
But you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
And Toyotas are, but Hondas and Toyotas, but those Japanese cars, man, they know what they're doing.
To make the payments reasonable, we had to, I did the math. It was going to have to be a $9,000 down payment.
Yeah.
Which.
That's a lot.
Is doable, but the bank account takes a nasty hit.
Right. Yeah, of course. And when you buy a new car, your bank account takes a hit.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't. The car was still good. That was the only thing wrong with it. Like it had a new battery.
And you just need to go from point A to point B.
Right. And
it's not a road. My car is the workhorse.
There's a couple things that are showing its age. Like it needs a paint job.
Yeah.
And
what's the point at this rate?
On the driver's side visor, I had a little mirror that fell off. I threw it out because I don't know how to put it back on, and I'm not going to.
It was glued on, I think.
Yeah, I don't know, but I don't use it, so I was like, whatever. Yeah. And then my blinkers, they work, but you can't hear it anymore. So the sound of it went out. So it's not anything major.
Yeah.
I think the only thing major is the paint.
And even then, it's
not.
It's not as bad as my brother's car.
No.
His car is
it's not.
Horrific.
And mine's older than his.
Yeah. His car is horrific.
But so he ended up following me home because the weather was so bad. We were afraid.
I asked him if he could follow you at least home. Yeah. That way, if the car stalled out, at least he could check it or bring you home.
Right.
And they live in this general area.
Yeah. It's not out of the way. Yeah.
And he was reasonably priced. I mean, he
was.
He charged us for the parts, and his labor was reasonable.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you're a mechanic now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I told him because he gave me a high five when we got home. And because he was like, "Oh, how is it running?" I said, "It's great." And so he gave me a high five.
He's a really nice guy, and
he is really nice.
It's funny because they've been dating for a little bit, and I just met him.
Yeah, they've been dating 4 years.
Yeah. COVID time.
Yeah. I didn't realize. I didn't realize that.
I just kept hearing the name, and I had never met the guy. And I ran into him at the supermarket, and we talked like we were old friends. Yeah. We just chit chat. He has that personality.
Yeah.
He has my personality.
You both have that personality. Yeah.
We just sat there, and then Leah's like, she's like, we got to go. And we're just talking. I was like,
we got things to do.
And I was like, all right, see you later.
So my car's fine now. We're not getting a new car,
Unfortunately. But it's for the best.
It is. And he said there's nothing wrong with old cars.
Yeah.
It's just, I think it's like with any car, because he made a good point. He said you could either get a used car, some like he just got like a 98 Camry for like $500.
Yeah.
He said you could go spend $20,000 on a brand new car. You drive off the lot, get into an accident. There's $20,000 down the drain.
No, when he put it that way, it put me into a lot of perspective.
Yeah. So, it's just buying a car is something.
It's a risk.
It's a risk, and it's a major decision that
I've never owned a brand new car.
I know.
Never owned a brand like it was 0 miles on it. Never had it.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid to, honestly.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, I got the promotion, I got the raise.
Yeah.
I was like, maybe I should splurge a little bit. But then I'm like, that's a nasty hit to the bank account.
Yeah.
And then the monthly payments. I was like, you know what? Let me just wait on that.
Yeah. And it's not just payments, it's insurance.
Yep.
And it's maintenance that you have to have on it.
Yeah.
So,
well, it'd be what it'd be.
It is.
One day.
But we've been fine so far.
When you work full time, maybe I'll get it done. We'll see.
I'm not working full time.
You never know.
I'm not working full time.
When Sophia graduates high school,
we'll see.
That's what I'm saying.
We'll see.
No, we'll see.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway,
we'll see.
You gain a job.
I do have a job.
You're gonna be working full time at the airport.
No.
You're gonna be managing that department.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. But so we may have a new listener.
Who's this?
So one of my coworkers,
Okay.
I was telling her about our shed, that we were getting a shed. And I said, yeah.
It's a he shed.
Yeah. And I said, it's big enough. My husband's got to move his desk in there and all his toys. And then I said,
that sounded so weird. All his toys, like I'm a child.
Oh, no, like your Funkos and your Lego sets and everything, and your
Stuff.
knickknacks and everything. And I said, and his podcast equipment. And she's like, oh, he does a podcast? I said, yeah. I said, actually, we both do.
It's the number 55th podcast in Guyana.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe.
So she asked me what the name was, so I told her.
Yeah.
And so she pulled it up on her phone. She's like, this one? I was like, yeah. So she's like, well, I know what I'm listening to on the drive home.
What's her name?
Well, I call her Moana.
All right. Shout out to Moana.
Her name is similar, but I don't want to say her name.
Okay, so shout out to Moana.
Yeah.
And we saw Moana 2. Moana 2 sucks.
Yeah. So what were you going to say?
It's a 3Z movie.
Yeah,
remember I fell asleep during Moana. I don't have the slightest clue what that movie was about.
I don't think any of us do.
Not a clue.
Yeah.
It was horrendous.
Yeah.
So we gotta talk about this song at some point.
I know.
But should I talk about that guy who threatened me on the podcast?
You can, but
Or should I save that for another day?
Yeah, maybe save it.
I'll save it for another day.
Because, like you said, we got to talk about this.
Shout out to you, idiot. You've been blocked everywhere.
Yeah.
Threatening me. Yeah. Smart. Real smart. And trying to chase after me. Yeah. But anyway. He's like, I'm going to destroy your podcast. I was like, seriously, dude?
It was like, we just do it for fun.
I was like, we do this for fun. I don't make money off of this.
Yeah.
I was like, it's not that serious. I'm going to destroy you. I'm like, I said, okay, cool. Have fun.
Should be on Once Upon a Time.
Yeah. But anyway, this week's episode is going to be Adele's song, Water Under the Bridge.
Yep.
Do you know this song?
I do know.
Do you like this song?
I do like this
really?
song. Really?
Yeah. Tell me why. Why do you like this song? Tell me every emotion you feel from this song.
I have no idea.
What does your heart do when you hear this song? Do your ears itch like mine?
I just had a little...
My ears are just itching.
I just had a little itch on my...
Okay.
On my
you call me a what? A little what?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Kelly's like, you're a little... Moana's over like, did I really sign up for this?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. So the water... You have your document.
I do have it.
I do all the work and you just got to read.
Yeah.
You're pretty much just a news reporter.
That's all I need to do.
Yeah. So tell me about Water Under the Bridge.
Well, Water Under the Bridge was released in 2015 as part of her 25 album.
Can you believe it's been that long?
I know.
It's been 10 years.
I know. And I
That
feel
doesn't
like
seem right. I feel like the song just came out.
I feel like this was her best album. Like I absolutely love 25. I absolutely love it.
I think I have to agree with you.
Yeah. So this song combines emotional depth with a catchy rhythm, exploring the complexities of love, vulnerability, and commitment.
Yeah, that album had ridiculous songs in it, like ridiculous.
Yeah.
You start off with Hello, then I Miss You. No, I'm sorry, Send My Love to Your New Lover. I Miss You, When We Were Young, Remedy, Water Under the Bridge, River Lee, Love in the Dark, Million Years Ago, All I Ask, Sweetest Devotion. I mean, there's not a bad song on that album.
No, there's not.
Jeez.
That's my favorite Adele album. I mean, her 21 was really good because you got Rolling in the Deep and Set Fire to the Rain and
Someone Like You.
Yeah, Someone Like You. Like those are great songs.
What about 19? Chasing Pavement.
Yeah.
And then she sings, she covers the, oh my God, I'm having a brain fart. Anyway, proceed.
Yeah. So at this
As you
point,
can tell, we're giant Adele fans.
Yeah. So this was the fourth single from that album, and she described it as a reflection of the emotional crossroads she faced in her late 20s. So by this point in her career, Adele had become famous for heartbreak anthems like Someone Like You and Rollin' in the Deep. But Water Under the Bridge marked a shift, that it's not about the end of love, it's about the moment when you realize it's time to face the truth about where a relationship is headed.
That's deep.
So Adele wrote this song about her ex-husband, Simon Konecki. She's been open about how the relationship made her feel safe and grounded after years of emotional turbulence. But even in security, there's always that moment of doubt. And the point where you ask, are we in this for the long haul, or is this just temporary? And that's the moment that Adele captures so beautifully in this track.
So I like how the song starts with, if you're not the one for me, then how come I can bring you to your knees? I love that song.
So right away, there's tension. She's questioning the strength of the relationship, but also acknowledging the intense emotional connection that they share.
And then she hits it with the chorus. If you're gonna let me down gently. Don't pretend that you don't want me. Our love ain't water under the bridge.
And so that phrase, water under the bridge, it usually means letting go of past problems and moving on and leaving things behind. But in this instance, she's saying the opposite, that this relationship can't just be dismissed or forgotten, that it's too important.
Yeah. And she wants clarity.
Yeah.
Are you committed? Are you in this for the long haul, like she said? Or is this just a passing phase? Ooh, man, that was deep.
Yeah, I know. You really nailed that one.
I know. So it's a relatable song. I mean, everybody always has that moment in any type of relationship. Are we in this for the long haul, or this is a temporary thing? I mean, everybody's gone through that. We went through that early on.
Yeah, I think at some point in your relationship, everybody goes through that. And hopefully it doesn't happen when you're married. Yeah. Hopefully by the time you get married, you already know. Yeah. Or by the time you're contemplating marriage, you already know that you're in it for the long haul.
Yeah. But there's also circumstances that make you be like, hey.
Right.
And we had circumstances that...
We had circumstances a few times. I mean, COVID really can test a relationship. We were fine.
We were fine.
But I'm saying, like, a lot of people that really tested their relationship. And there were a lot of divorces in COVID. Yeah. Like, because it's one thing to live in the same house and you can go somewhere.
And we went from a giant house to an apartment during COVID.
Right, exactly. So,
because how long was lockdown? 2 years? 1 year?
Just about 2 years.
So we lived in the house and we were locked in the house with my mom and my brother, Sophia, you, and Lily. And then we sold the house, and it sold way too fast. Yeah. And then we went to an apartment. So it was just me, you.
Just the three of us.
Just the three of us and Lily. And it was like, but it was fun though.
We went from a 3-story house, pretty much,
to an apartment,
to a 2-bedroom apartment.
Yeah. But it was fun though.
It was fun. But I'm saying, and we had been, I think our relationship is different because...
Ooh, tell me why.
We don't... we tell each other like it is.
Uh-huh.
And a lot of people don't do that.
Mhm.
They hold things in
Mhm.
and don't talk about it. And I
Yeah.
think our relationship, we talk about everything. You know, we joke around and we just, like I said, we tell it how it is. And, you know, I think because we're on the same page too, and we had already been together for so long.
Yeah.
I think newer relationships probably didn't
Yeah,
last.
that'd be tough.
Because like I was saying, like you go from, you know, yeah, you live together and you're married or whatever, but you have lives outside of the home.
Yeah.
So you're not with each other 24/7. And then COVID hits and you have to be together 24/7. You have no choice.
And I was working. I had to work from home. And during that time, we were on mandatory overtime.
Exactly.
Of 50 hours a week, if not plus more.
So that still can put a strain on a relationship. So between that and then when you got sick, that was, you know.
Well, we got hit so many times. We had several deaths in the family. Well, we got COVID, then we got out of COVID, then we got several deaths in the family, and then I get sick.
Yeah.
And then it's like the hits kept coming.
Yeah, it was just like.
So I'm praying for a boring 2025.
25 shoes dropped.
Yeah, well, I'm praying for a really, really slow 2025. A boring 2025.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Me too.
I miss the boring days. So, all right. So the song. She doesn't just sing the words.
Yeah.
But with Adele, an Adele album is not meant to be heard. It's meant to be felt. No, seriously, it's meant to be felt.
Yeah.
You listen to the words, but you feel them in your heart.
Right.
That sounded so weird in my head.
Yeah. No,
but it's the truth though.
Emotionally, you can feel.
You
feel what she's going.
Yeah,
you
don't put an Adele album just to play as background noise in the back.
Right.
You feel an Adele album.
Right.
Because it's gonna take you on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
From it's gonna take you the highest of the highs and then the lowest of the lows.
Yeah.
And we love Adele.
Not everybody likes Adele. You know, some people.
How?
Why?
Some
people I think feel like.
Tell me who. Name one person.
I'll tell you later.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's her?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah. Well,
why?
I think people. I don't remember why, but I think some people probably feel like she's a little overrated just because. I guess because of her voice. I don't know, but yeah, and I don't agree with it. I think she has a great voice, and the beauty, and her personality is
the
hysterical.
beauty of Adele is how many albums does she have? 4.
Yeah.
Do you hear any type of gossip or any tabloid stuff about Adele?
The only tabloid stuff that I ever heard was about her ex wanting rights to the songs because they were about.
You don't
him.
hear squat about it.
Her first ex that
she hits you with music and then she does a tour and then she disappears for 5 years.
I know. I heard that she's going to disappear again, but maybe permanently.
But that's what she said when we went to go see her live. She goes, "This is my last tour. I'm done."
Yeah, I'm done.
And then she came back 5 years later with an album and just blew everything out of the water.
But every 5 to 10 years.
So that's what I'm saying. 2030.
Yeah.
We're gonna hear it on the Adele album.
Yeah.
And it's gonna come out of the blue.
Yeah.
Out of the blue.
Yep.
It's gonna be amazing. Like "Go Easy on Me," the "Go Easy on Me" song. Nobody was expecting an Adele song.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, she's like, "Here you go."
Yeah.
The world needs me. That's what she said. The world needs me. So whenever we need Adele, she's going to be there for us.
She's a superhero.
She is. We love her so much.
She's like Captain America.
That our daughter's middle name is Adele.
Yeah.
That's how much we love her.
Yep. And that was after
Rolling in the Deep.
Rolling in the Deep.
Rolling in the Deep.
That changed it for us.
I remember where I was when I heard that song.
Because that came out in 2011.
Yep.
Which was when 13 years ago.
We were in the basement. We were living in the basement. I was watching VH1 while I was getting ready. And I was like, what is this? Because you're going to wish you.
Yeah.
I was like, what is this noise? It like penetrated my soul. But we just love Adele too much.
Yeah.
And we saw her live and it was just.
Yeah, it was amazing.
It was one of the greatest concerts I've ever been to in my entire life.
Yeah.
And the entire building shook when she sang Rolling in the Deep.
Oh, yeah.
Like I actually feared for our lives.
That.
I'm not even kidding. I fear for our lives.
I feel like that's the song that she's known for, and that everybody loves that.
And
song.
when the song went off, confetti went off, and it was when we grabbed pieces of it. And it was lyrics to her songs.
Yeah.
And I got my favorite song when we were young.
Yeah.
I was all happy. I was like, yay! All right. So like I said, an Adele song is meant to be felt, not heard.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the lyrics. Let's
Okay.
let's read the lyrics, okay? So I'll read the first little block, and then you can read the next block, and so forth.
Okay.
Okay. So she starts off with, if you're not the one for me, then how come I can bring you to your knees? If you're not the one for me, why do I hate the idea of being free? And if I'm not the one for you, you gotta stop holding me the way that you do. Oh, honey, if I'm not the one for you, why have we been through what we've been through?
It's so cold out here in your wilderness. I want you to be my keeper, but not if you're so reckless. If you're going to let me down gently. Don't pretend that you don't want me. Our love ain't water under the bridge. If you're going to let me down gently. Don't pretend that you don't want me. Our love ain't water under the bridge. Say that our love ain't water under the bridge.
What are you waiting for? You never seem to make it through the door. And who are you hiding from? It ain't no life to live like you're on the run. Have I ever asked for much? The only thing that I want is your love. We could skip this, the chorus again.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. Yeah.
I mean, it's straight and simple. Like, don't just blow me off.
Yeah.
Like, when you have a problem, it's like, yeah, it's just water under the bridge. Like, you don't do that with love.
No, not if it means something to you.
Is our love a water under the bridge?
No.
Okay, good. Good. I'm so glad you feel that way.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you still love me.
Why wouldn't I?
I don't know. I don't know. You might be like, I'm over this. This dude's, he's like, all he wants is attention because he has cancer. He had cancer, God forbid. Ooh.
Ooh, big deal.
Oh, big deal. You survived 6 months of chemo. Ooh. Your hair and your eyebrows fell out. Ooh. I had to help you in and out of the shower. Ooh, big deal. Help you off the toilet. Help you get out of bed.
I had to bathe you in the hospital.
Oh,
Ooh.
Geez, ooh. Yeah, I fainted on top of you one time.
Yeah, you did.
And you had to call the nurses and scream because I was passed out. At least I warned you. I was like, hey, I'm on the way out. Bye.
Yeah.
I got to the point where,
like, okay, bye.
with this whole cancer thing, I was in the hospital for 8 days. I got to the point where I knew when I was about to faint.
Yeah.
So I would give you a warning. I'm like, hey, I'll see you later.
I'm going.
Before my first surgery, I told the doctor, the anesthesiologist, I was like, yeah, I'm on the way out. He's like, what? And I was like, bye. How long was I out for on that time?
Not long.
Okay.
Not long.
Because
we watched your blood pressure just tanked.
Okay.
And then we saw it like steadily.
Because I literally told him, bye.
Yeah. You were, and I just sat there. I was like, "Yep, this is
he's going.
happening.
He's going." I was like, "I'll see you in a bit."
And so
he should just let me pass. He should just let me stay unconscious and do the surgery. Like, why bring me back?
No, they didn't bring you back. You just
I just woke up.
Your blood pressure went back. It regulated itself, and it passed. So
I have a random question. This is gonna be the most oddball question. Have you ever looked at the wall and it just gets like your vision gets all funny?
What?
Like, if you stare one spot in the wall,
Uh-huh.
like when you stare at it a really long time, does it get like weird? Like the perspective gets weird?
Not that I've noticed.
Okay. It happens to me sometimes. It's always happened to me. Like the other day I was in my coworker's office and he had a spot in the wall, like it was like a hole. And I looked, I was like, what's that? And then because the paint was the same color, my vision just got whacked. And I was like, dude, what is going on? It was just weird.
That's concerning.
No, it's happened my whole life.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not from this. But like if you stare at like
maybe the concussions.
No, it's like when you stare at like those 3D like those paintings back in the 90s. And
Yeah.
you stare and it was like the perspective would get weird. It's like that.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Gotcha. No, that
doesn't happen to you?
happened to me.
Interesting.
Not that I'm aware of. I don't recall it happening, but maybe
Just one day,
it has.
just one day, stare at the wall by the. No, I'm serious. By your chair, just stare at the wall and just see what happens. Because it's all the same color in our house.
Yeah,
it might do this whole.
It might do something.
It might do something weird.
Okay.
But yeah, I was staring at. I was like, why is there a hole in your wall? And it's like, whoa, what's going on?
Conversation took a turn.
Yeah, it did take a turn. But yeah, my fainting spells.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun times.
And during that surgery, they played an Adele song for me.
Yep, they did. They played your favorite one.
My favorite Adele song.
Mm-hmm.
We've told that story, right?
Yeah, you thought there was a black nurse.
Well, let's tell the story again. So I go in for surgery.
For our new listener.
I go in for my surgery, and after I wake up, after getting consciousness from fainting in front of the anesthesiologist.
Yeah.
So we walk into the OR. They wheel me in there. And I'm like losing my mind. I'm bugging out. So he's like, hey, what type of music you listen to? And I was like, that's a heavy question. I host a podcast, the number 1,000 podcast in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's like, well, who's your favorite artist? I was like, another heavy question. I was like, Adele. So he's like, what's your favorite Adele song? I was like, dude, stop asking me these questions. Like, seriously.
This is too much.
Like, you're asking too much. I'm like, you're about to cut into me. Like,
right.
I don't
asking too much here.
He's like, well, what's your Adele song? So I said, when we were young. I was like, he's like, well, you want me to play it for you? And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. So he starts playing it, and I still to this day am 100% sure that there was a black nurse above my head monitoring me. But she must have been wearing a black mask.
Maybe that's where you got your confusion.
And since I was so, I didn't have my glasses on.
Yeah.
I mean,
it blended.
without glasses, I'm blind.
Yeah.
So she starts singing, and I was like, that's the most beautiful sound. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. So I was like, I gotta tell her I gotta tell her when I get out that she sung really beautifully, because she started singing along.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, it's so hypnotic. So the surgeon's like, okay, I'm gonna put this mask over you. Just count back from, I think, 10.
Yeah.
Or he said count up to 10. I think he said count up to 10. So he's like, it's gonna smell like old shoes. And I was like, what? He goes, yeah, start counting. I was like, okay. And it smelled like shoes. I was like, oh man, that's weird. So I was like, 1, 2, and then
yeah.
I don't think I said 3.
Yeah.
And then I woke up and I was in my hospital bed, and you were right next to me. I was like, what the hell just happened? And I had tubes in my chest.
You came in the room. You were like, because I came out. You were in the hallway, and so I came out. So that
they left me in the hallway.
No. You were in the. I had to come out so that way they could wheel you in and everything. Okay. So I needed to be out of the way.
Yeah.
So Sarah was with me.
She was there too?
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Because she stayed with me the whole morning until you got out of surgery.
Oh, okay.
So I wasn't alone. Especially if something happened, she wanted to be there for me. So you were in the hallway. They were wheeling you in, and so I was standing out there. You were like, "Hey, hon."
Really? Jeez.
Yeah.
I was out of it.
You were like, "Hey," like you were so happy to see me.
Yo, those drugs that they give you, them time travel drugs, are no joke.
Yeah. So yeah, you were out of it for a while, because those are heavy drugs, and it takes a few hours.
And it was the first surgery I ever had in my life.
Yeah. So, and Sarah stayed for.
She stayed in the room with us?
Yeah, she stayed for a little while.
And I was awake?
Not really. You were in and out.
Oh, okay. I don't remember none of this.
Yeah, you were in and out. But yeah, she stayed for a little bit, and then she had to go. So, and then I don't remember if anybody came. I think your mom came
with Sophia.
I think maybe I can't remember now. But yeah, it was.
And then I woke up and I had these tubes sticking out of my chest, and I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "Well, you have to walk around with this machine to pump out the fluid out of your lungs." I was like, "Oh, great."
And like pretty much like once those drugs were like out of your system, they wanted you up walking around and.
Oh yeah, and we had the sweetest little. She was from Peru or Chile.
Yeah.
She was like, "Get up," and I was like, "What?" And she's like, "We're gonna walk," and I was like,
"Yeah."
But I haven't walked in forever.
But you did good. It got to where you could do a few laps,
like 1 or 2 laps. But
I was
on bed rest.
Yeah, it takes a lot out of you.
I was on bed rest for 8 days and 3 surgeries, and I dropped 50 pounds. I was on an all liquid diet. I mean, I dropped 50 pounds in a week.
Yeah,
it was just ridiculous. Yeah, but yeah, the cancers. But anyway. Hopefully my scan next month is okay.
Let's not do this again.
Yeah.
But if
look, let's not even put it out there. Let's not even put it out to the universe. It is what it is.
What I was gonna say was the way I look at it is that things are gonna happen no matter what you do.
Yeah.
So you just have to take it one day at a time.
Just start smoking and just drinking and just be an idiot.
You just have to take things one day at a time, 1 minute at a time, and deal with it as it comes. Like we can't control any of it. Yeah. We can only do so much.
Like Outkast says.
Yeah.
What do they say?
I don't know.
Hey, yeah.
I was like, I don't.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
Yeah, I know.
You can plan a pretty picnic, but you can't predict the weather.
Yep.
There you go. So, do you like the song?
I do like the song. It's all that to say.
All that to say, we like the song. We have ADD. Sorry, Moana.
Yeah. Oh, and the nurse was not black.
Oh,
She
yeah.
was white.
Because for my last surgery to get my port
It was your
my
port.
port placement.
The same nurse was there.
I had the same nurses, the same anesthesiologist, the same surgeon. I had the.
Yeah.
I mean, I told him, I was like, "Do I get is this one free?" Because I've been here
Buy two, get one free.
I've been here 3 times in 3 weeks for surgeries. We can count my emergency chest tube as a surgery because that was surgery.
Yeah, so four surgeries.
So 4 surgeries in 3 weeks because
4 surgeries.
my lung collapsed at some point, and they had to the surgeon's like, I had to cut into you now and put a tube in there now.
Yeah, to
and I was like,
reinflate your lung.
I was like, excuse me. I was like, we're not gonna go back into the OR. He goes, no.
You're not gonna put me out.
He's like, no, I'm gonna. He's like, I'm gonna
numb it.
He's, I'm gonna inject you with a numbing thing. I was like, all right, straight. I'm not gonna feel a thing. My man was straight up just butchered into me and stuck a tube down my chest.
And it wasn't even a big tube.
But it felt so.
Yeah, I'm sure it felt really big.
I feel nauseous right now thinking about it. So let's go past it. So I had 4 surgeries in 3 weeks. But anyway, the nurse is like, yeah. I was like, hey, who was the nurse that was in there for my last surgery? She goes, oh, it was all of us. And I was like, no, the black nurse. And she goes, there was no black nurse. And I was like, no, she was above my head singing. She goes, that was me. And she was the whitest. Like, her name could have been like Becky.
But they got the biggest kick out of it. And she was like, oh, I can't wait to tell my husband when I get home.
But she had such a beautiful singing voice.
Yeah.
And for that surgery, when I took a Xanax and then they did the anesthesia, so I didn't make it past the doors. I passed out.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like,
but the
"See y'all later."
anesthesia wasn't as in depth with.
Yeah, there was a sedation, but I passed out.
More of a sedation, but because the other surgery was a more intense surgery, they had to do a completely different.
So what was my third one? I had.
So you had the first one.
Yep, the
chest tube,
two
the
bullet holes.
biopsy.
Yep.
Of the mass, and then the second one technically was the second chest tube that they put in, and then the third one was the biopsy of your lymph nodes,
yep.
And then the last one was
port.
the port.
Ugh.
Yep.
Yeah. So 4 surgeries in 3 weeks.
Yep.
Ugh. That was a fun end of year 2023.
Yeah.
But
that was great.
We're here. We're alive.
Yep.
So, with that being said, I think that's it for us.
Yeah.
Until next time. The show Instagram, listen to the words podcast. The show emails, listen to the words pod@gmail.com. That's all I got to offer.
Yeah.
Promote your job.
No.
So
if you need a wheelchair at the airport, don't ask for me.
Don't ask for me. or tip her very well.
Yeah.
Only $10 tips.
20s only.
20s only. So if you're listening to this, I am hopefully in Nashville, Tennessee, in meetings all day. So when this posts, I'll be asleep, hopefully.
Yeah.
It'll be 6 a.m. Eastern time, which will be 5 a.m. that time.
Yep.
So I'll be getting ready for my meetings.
You will.
Yep. So your stuff?
My show email is listentothewordspodkelly@gmail.com.
Have you ever gotten an email on that email?
Nope.
Cool. Okay.
Not that I'm aware of. I don't really check it.
No. So with that being said, sign off.
When we were young. I don't know.
Our love ain't water under the bridge. All right. We will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.